Now that we're oriented, let's actually run an analysis. At the bottom of the screen is the chat. Just above it, you'll see different modes the program supports. There are three key modes you'll see here: analysis, plan, and critique. These modes let you control how the program thinks. You can ask it to execute an analysis directly, ask it to plan an analysis first, or ask it to critique or improve its own work. We'll start with something very simple just to show how it works. Let's generate a basic crosstab of party identification by vote choice. In analysis mode, the program goes straight to execution. It runs the analysis and then will return the result. This is the kind of analysis that could normally take a few steps in a statistical software. Here, all you need is a single question. You'll notice that it recognizes immediately that the data set is the ANES. It utilizes some proprietary algorithms under the hood to be able to understand that data, and then it will execute and create the crosstab. One of our core design principles in this program is transparency. Everything the AI does, we want you to see. So we can see what variables were listed. We can examine the metadata that the AI had access to. We can see the raw output of the crosstabs, and then we will be able to see and view the actual results here as well. Okay, that was nice, that was cool, but let's step it up. For more complex workflow, we can ask the program to plan an analysis before running anything. In this case, we're going to build a machine learning model to predict vote choice. And we're going to start in plan mode. We'll change it to plan mode. We'll ask it to create an analysis plan that builds a machine learning model that predicts 2024 vote choice using the available demographic and attitudinal variables. In plan mode, the program does not execute. Instead, it will dig into the data, lay out some steps, build some assumptions, and think through different modeling choices and to understand how best to answer your query. Right now, it's making use of many of the tools that we have pre-built into it, such as searching the dataset, making use of the metadata, listing out the variables, building itself a strong understanding of the dataset so that it can form and build the right plan. You can see for yourself every research question it intends to ask, each of the variables it intends to use, all of the proposed analyses. In addition to the analyses that it plans to run, we also include the weighting strategy, the technical implications, and most importantly, the limitations and the caveats. We know from conducting research that limitations are incredibly important to articulate, and so we put that front and center inside of our plan mode. Once the plan is created, you can go ahead and run it, but one thing that could be extremely useful is the critique mode. So once the plan is done, we can pressure test it. This is where critique mode comes in. We ask the program to review its own plan, point out weaknesses, risks, or improvements. So we will paste this prompt in that says, critique this analysis plan. Identify potential methodological issues, limitations, and ways to improve the modeling approach. This forces the program to slow down and reason more carefully instead of just blindly executing it. In critique mode, the software program has access to the same information that it did in the plan mode, but will take a more critical lens to be able to thoroughly evaluate and understand the plan and the critiques that may go along with it. In addition to critiquing a plan, in analysis mode, you can also critique an analysis that you've already created if you want to have better insight or understanding of the limitations after conducting an analysis. So I will let it continue on with its critique and check back with you once the critique is created. Okay, and we're back. The critical review of the machine learning plan is in, and it has recommended a major revision. The one critical flaw is the circularity and tautology in predicting vote choice, given that party identification alone predicts 88.3% of the accuracy, which in political science makes sense. And you don't need an ML model to predict vote choice when you already know one variable alone does most of the moving. That is the critique that the AI surfaced during our planning mode here. One idea that was particularly useful is that it offered suggested fixes. The suggested fix I thought was the most compelling was to use the post-election votes as a target variable and pre-election demographics as predictors. That is sort of the whole idea that we had in the first place. In addition to this critique, it also offered many other critiques and suggestions. One thing that was great is that it offered us questions to refine what our actual research goal was, why use an ML instead of a regression, and various other questions. So it brought up a great point in the tautology of our model. And so we will ask it to update the plan according to option number C. We'll go back into plan mode and we'll say, okay, great. Let's update the plan to use option C. Now we'll ask the AI to revise our plan and update it to use option C, post-election vote and pre-election demographics as predictors. All right, it's going to go ahead and rewrite the plan, and I'll check back with you once that plan is rewritten. And we're back. It's gone ahead and updated our analysis plan, where before we were using attitudinal variables, party identification. It said, instead, let's build an ML model that may be slightly less accurate, but perhaps even more generalizable, because it's going to use pre-election demographic predictors to predict vote choice. And in predicting that vote choice, it's going to use age, gender, education, race, household income. And it will give you a detailed explanation of each of the analysis that it plans to do, the expected output, so on and so forth. We'll just go ahead and execute the plan. And the way you execute the plan is in one simple step. You just hit execute the plan, hit that play button, and it will get right to work. We'll check back in when the plan is executed. All right, great. And we are back. And the analysis has completed. You can see here, machine learning analysis predicting 2024 vote choice from demographics. It went through the data preparation, the feature engineering, ran the base model, and did some decision trees. It tells exactly what the results were, including the level of accuracy that we were able to achieve. Next, it also describes the deliverables that were created, including a Word document, goes through some of the key findings that we were able to uncover, talks about the methodological strengths, the limitations, and some conclusions. And it produces this Word doc, which we can go ahead and download this directly from the platform. And it produces this beautiful Word document here, which includes the summary, the research question, the methodology, the variables that were used, and the results. All that leading to a Word document that is ready for analysts to review, to revise as necessary, and then immediately send off to client, all in the time that we were talking and going through the chat. Pretty remarkable how fast things have come along and the level at which the AI can perform its analysis.